Three, two, one, and here we go. I am Lerrod Smalls, and yes, this is Rise of the Black Warrior podcast. So, thank you so much for checking us out today. If you've checked out this podcast before, I want to thank you for coming back. But if you're new, I want to welcome you to this conversation. Today is going to be a very special conversation, super near and dear to my heart. Whether you're watching us or you're listening, I am in studio with a very special guest, my very own daughter, London Small. Say hi, London.
Hi, guys.
All right, good. We're going to have some conversation today. Now, if you don't know what this podcast is all about, let me give it to you. All right, we are about power. We're about sharing messages from mentors about things that matter so that we can help move you from places where you're not powerful into places where you are powerful. So, first thing is, London is in lots of activities, right? She's in a lot of activities, and I'm going to give her an opportunity to tell us what it's like being 9 years old. So some of us don't remember what that's like. What it's like to be 9 and some of your activities and stuff that's important to you.
As I have a busy schedule, and your parents are asking you to do so many things, and it puts you under a lot of pressure, especially me, because I am a dancer, I am a stepper, I am God's child. I'm very proud of my dad and being a part of the Smalls family. And it's a very good experience because I can learn from him and learn how to be a better person, a better entrepreneur. And you should learn from that too.
That's right. Okay. So that's a lesson for you guys. Always be listening to me. Well, here's what I want to share with you guys is that being a dad is not an easy task for anyone, right? There's no dad that's going to get it 100% perfect. And I don't expect that, I've done everything right. What would you say is some of the challenges that you and I have in communicating?
I would say that communicating itself, because it's hard to understand him sometimes. It's hard to understand me sometimes. Sometimes we don't get each other and we don't get along, and it's fine. It's not like every person in the world's gonna get each other. And learn from that. Learn from me speaking to you. Learn from me speaking to him. Learn from everything.
Learn from everything. There's so much to be learned here from a child, right? From the mouth of babes. Something that my mom used to say is that when we got into some serious conflict, she said, it's really hard for me to see through the eyes of somebody who's a teenager because I'm not a teenager. And that's what we have to remember is that sometimes when I'm dealing with you, I have to see things through your eyes. And we as parents have to remember that when we expect our children to understand subjects and topics, they're not using 30, 40, 50 years worth of experience. Like you're using 9 years, right? You only have 9 years worth of experience, right? But on the other side, when we're sharing or teaching you something, you have to understand that we have 30, 40 years worth of experience, and you're not going to understand, some of the things that we share with you guys. So that's a lesson for all parents, is that we have to communicate powerfully, right? Would you say that?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. In some of the interactions, like you're at home and, it's me, you, and mommy and your brothers. And sometimes, me and mommy have a conflict, right? Like we have some conflicts, right? But what would you say, what's your feeling about it when me and mommy have conflicts? What are your feelings?
It's upsetting. Very upsetting. I don't like it because sometimes it just gets a little scary for me. Just standing there and watching it happen, it's no good. It's no go for me.
I get that. And that can be scary, I'm sure, because you're wondering, what's going to happen or what the outcome is of it. But what is it that do you ever see any good come out of it?
Sometimes, yes. Because as you begin to argue with each other, you can learn a lesson from each other. Like say if something happened and somebody's just blacking out at somebody for no reason, and somebody's telling you, oh, you shouldn't do that, you have to ask a question before you do it. And I believe that's a good way of thinking about it, because you can learn from that. And like next time you know to ask a question before you accuse somebody of doing that or what you think they did.
Right. So it's really important to ask questions. All right. Would you say that asking questions is really important?
Yes.
All right. What do you like in school and any other time? When do you feel that questions are the most important?
Yeah, because it's like me and my teacher have this conflict between each other and asking questions, because if you think that somebody did something and you don't know what happened and you believe you saw this, and somebody else that witnessed it says that the person did this, and the teacher thinks you did the opposite of what the person said, and she says no more arguing, or you go to the principal. And I believe it's unfair, because I don't get to speak up for what I saw and what I experienced.
Okay, and that's a deep one. So something that I learned too, and I have to be very cautious of, especially as a parent, and we as men, right, dominant, dads and fathers, right, we can be intimidating, right? We can be scary when we're telling you something, right? Have you ever been scared, like when I say something to you, use my big voice,
Yeah.
right? All right, so like we can be really intimidating to our children, like, and we look scary even if we're not really meaning to be. So we have to be really cautious of that, especially when we're we're challenging them on stuff. Something that just became evident to me too is that we also have to make sure that we're asking questions, because the worst thing to do would be to accuse our children of something that they did not do, or make them feel that they don't have a voice. It sounded like you just said that just a moment ago, that you feel like you don't have a voice sometimes. Is that true?
I agree with him. Like you can't just say something if you expect something out of somebody and you're not doing to get to that point. It's your fault. You're the reason why. It's not the other person's fault. It's your fault. You're not doing what it takes to get to that point. And you have to decide if you want to still play games or get to the goal.
That's a powerful point. That's a powerful point. So you can see my little motivational speaker here coming out. So she's got a special T-shirt on today, right? She's in studio. And what kind of T-shirt is that?
A cookie pep rally.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So it says Cookie Pep Rally 2019 Baking History. Did I say baking history? Making history. So she is a Girl Scout. How does it feel to be a Girl Scout?
It's so amazing, because you get to interact with so many different people that have different personalities, and you encounter mean people on your path. And like this season is cookie selling season, and as you begin to sell, you will meet people that are not so nice, and they might buy something from you, or they might not. If they don't buy something from you, that doesn't mean make them mean. If they're buying something from you and they have a nasty attitude for no reason, that's being mean.
So you're learning how to interact with sales.
Yes.
So selling cookies, you're learning how to actually sell and deal with people and make interactions.
Yes.
So it's pretty powerful being a Girl Scout, and one of the things you guys do is fundraise through selling cookies. I mean, it's very traditional, it's classic.
Yeah, we just made over $1,000 for Florida Pot Handle and their hurricane that they had, and we went to the national building and we sold cookies They came inside. We fundraised. They donated boxes of cookies. We just we just were so proud of ourselves. They were so proud of us too, and I just feel so bad of what happened in October.
Got it. So you guys, whenever there's an event or there's something that happens, the Girl Scouts, you guys are right there to participate. And I think that teaches them a lesson. It's a powerful lesson in getting your kids involved in programs like the Girl Scouts, because basically they learn things about the environment and whether they could do something about it or not. Do you feel now that you have some control, or you can do something about a tragedy that happens in an area?
Yes. I'm working on my bronze award. And to get your bronze award, you have to do something for your community, your family, or something like that. You could do it with your troop or without your troop. In this process, I'm making a plan of cleaning up my neighborhood and making signs to keep people from dirting up our sidewalks, because I have a drain right next to I have a sewer thing right next to my house, and if it rains, it gets full, and then the trash standing on top of it, it just overflows, and then that could cause to flooding, and then it's not good. And then what's going to happen when we have a flood right in front of our house?
Right. So you tackle the problem that you see in your environment, and you're using the strategies and the stuff that you learn from Girl Scouts to take that on. And that's a really big thing. It's noble. I think it's a very noble thing for your children to see and have mechanisms, have ways to solve problems in our environment, and then actually take a role in it. Not just talk about it, right? Like, you see people, sometimes they're on the news or in different places, and they're just talking about problems. But very often than not, they don't actually take an action that could make some change, right? And that's pretty important to you, right? To take some action and change some things. Now, I understand that you are selling cookies yourself. Yes. That's right. That's right. She hits me up. She hits everybody else up. And she has a website. So do you want to tell everybody your website?
Yes.
What's your website?
It's right here. It's Digital Cookie. It's a thing that Girl Scouts use to sell online.
Right. So your website is londonsmalls.com, right? All right. So you can go to London Smalls, LONDON, Smalls, SMALLS.com, and they can order cookies. Can they also donate if they don't buy cookies?
Yes, you can also donate.
What would be the good reason for them to support you?
Because I could get to my goal of 1,000 boxes of cookies, and I can maybe go over that. And it will be great because my trip can go on even more trips and better trips. And I could use that for soup kitchens and other places that need to be worked on, like my community, other people's community, and your neighborhood to be worked on.
So Girl Scout cookies, although they may be high in calories, you think so?
Yes.
they sweets are high in calories, and they also are high in benefit to supporting our young little entrepreneurs.
And as I said, if you believe that it's too high in calorie, you can donate. You could buy as many boxes as you want and donate them.
Whoa. So if you have a final message for people who would like to, be better and to be more productive or be more focused, or another kid your age that was listening, what would be that message?
You have to be the best you can be, despite anything that somebody says. If somebody comes to you and say that you can't do this because you're a girl, don't believe what they say. Show them that you're better. Go beast mode.
That's that. So I think that that's a wrap, and I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to sit here and listen to my daughter share some of her jewels and some of the stuff that she's picked up from me. And I hope that you guys are getting something from that, hearing from the heart of a 9-year-old who is in the experience of, being the daughter of someone who's consciously and actively trying to build in their community and what's possible for them. Never will we be perfect, but we are on a constant and perfect pursuit of being better and creating progress. So we want to constantly be pushing, and our legacy is to leave the world better than we found it through our children and for our children. So thank you guys so much for chiming in today. This was an amazing experience for me that I got to sit here with my little girl. Definitely check out her website, londonsmalls.com. You can pick up some cookies and support her that way and her endeavors. And men, if you are looking to build a stronger relationship with your children, if you're looking to be a brighter beacon for progress in your community, check out, I challenge you. I'm giving you a challenge right now. Go to riseoftheblackwarrior.com and see what we've got. I've got some free gifts for you. I've got some stuff that you can learn from, and I can guarantee that you will be more powerful through the conversation. So that's it. Definitely keep subscribing, sharing, and liking to this content. And if you know somebody who could benefit from it, definitely share it with them. And remember this, you are only one decision away from changing your whole world. All right, everybody. Peace.